innate names, and we've heard about this. So, you know, what is Saraswati in the sannyasa ashram? That was, at least there's mention of it in the Chaitanya Charitamrita as being very well defined. Now, who is Saraswati? Saraswati is the goddess of learning and also has to do with eloquent speech. You know, so anyway, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, you know, he's the personification of Mahaprabhu's kirtanas from what I've read, you know. So all these things have some, you know, deeper meaning going on. And in the name, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, Saraswat, of course, refers to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And if we called it the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Govinda Seva Ashram, which some countries do, then it becomes Saraswati. In that case, it doesn't stay Saraswat. It becomes Saraswati due to some Sanskrit rules that I don't know. But anyway, Govinda Maharaj one time said that if it was longer name like Sri Chaitanya, not Saraswat Mat, but Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Govinda Seva Ashram, then it becomes Saraswati. Now, don't ask me to explain why. I have not the least idea, but you know, that's the situation. Unfortunately, now I have no one to translate in Russian. You can do it? No tengo nadie que puede traducir en ruso, entonces estoy haciendo en español. Él preguntó qué sucede con el nombre Saraswat o Saraswati, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, etc. Yo expliqué en el Chaitanya Lila y en una conversación entre Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu y Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, donde él dice básicamente, pensando que Mahaprabhu es un alma normal, no el Señor Supremo, que yo lo puedo iniciar en una sampradaya superior, el Saraswati Sampradaya. Pero anyway, I'll just say, when Avadut Maharaj comes back, he's landing now.
I wasn't trying to translate it.
But here, you can translate this. I will say that in the context I mentioned of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the whole gist is Gopinath Acharya sees the divinity of Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya doesn't. And some argument ensues that no, he's, in the Vedas they say Tri-yuga, he's not the Lord, you know. So and then Gopinath Acharya says, what do you know? You don't know about yuga avatars? There's an avatar in every yuga. He's the Lord of the yuga avatars. You know, anyway, that's where my understanding of Saraswati comes in.
I want to also add something what I heard yesterday on the tape of Guru Maharaj.
All right.
But that's after I translate what you say. В целом такой поднялся вопрос, а что такое Сарасвата, идея, в чем эта идея? И ответ, ну, как бы, чтобы ответить на этот вопрос, нам следует не только говорить о каких-то формальностях, но погрузиться в саму Гаура-лилу, где, с одной стороны, Чайтанья Махапрабху являет роль саньяси, и Сарвабхаума Бхаттачарья, видя, что он юный, говорит, я тебя инициирую в более высшую сампрадаю, в Сарасвати сампрадаю. С другой стороны, мы понимаем, что Бхактисиддханта Сарасвати Такур использовал 10 имен саньяси, ну, как бы в идее Сарасвата Сампрадая для своего движения. Но с другой стороны, мы все-таки приходим к идее того, что самой Чайтанья Махапрабху общается с Гопинат Ачарьем, который является родственником Сарвабхаумы. И хотя Сарвабхаума обладает пониманием Сарасвата как бы Сампрадая и всем остальным, Сарвабхаума не может увидеть в Чайтанье Махапрабху личность Бога, а считает его какой-то выдающейся личностью и говорит, он слишком молод, я подниму его на более высокий уровень. Тогда Гопинат Ачарья смеется над ним и говорит, что ты понимаешь о этой личности, это сам Господь, который не зашел в материальный мир, чтобы спасти всех живых существ. И исходя из знания священных писаний, Сарвабхаума Бхаттачарья начинает с ним спорить и говорить, если ты хочешь уже говорить о священных писаниях, есть разные аватары, разные юги, разные пахальные нишествия, И Гопинат Ачарья отвечает: твое знание Писания ограничено твоей человеческой природой. Окей? Существуют еще более глубокие аватары, еще более скрытые. Поэтому не пытайся сейчас анализировать все это своим умом. Мне Господь себя явил, тебе же Он пока себя не явил, поэтому в этом и есть наша разница. So I, in actual translate what you said, and what I've heard actually yesterday in the tape, which I normally have no time to listen tapes, but I was like a little disturbed and want to hear some divine sound, and I stopped the tape. I don't remember the number. That's the Srila Sridhar Maharaj talk about Saraswata. It's the same question. It's an interesting, it's coming now by divine will, because I want to talk about that. But I never had chance in the last couple of days to speak about. Now it came up by heart of devotees, so that means I heard it for some reason. So he's been interestingly speaking about Indo-Saraswata civilization, which lived in outside that Saraswati river, etc. And so when he talked about the Saraswata, thing, it means actually that he said there's a specific order of Brahmins, they call Saraswata Brahmins community, but he said historically it refers to the first humans who descend to this plane. Remember, human beings are aliens. In spite of Darwinian theory, human beings are not product of monkeys, rather is the product of Manu. Not monkeys, the Manu, the Prajapatis. So this original human race, which is what? Is a God-centric race of a Brahmanas, is descent. So that also we can trace the Saraswati concept is traced for some divine or higher nature of human realized personalities. So in this case, we can also see that, Saraswati Thakur, with all the respect to the Vedic system, was one of those unique personalities who descend from spiritual world. And whatever understanding of Sampradaya, conception of sannyas, conception of religion, he would have to reconsider everything. Because we in 5,000 years of Kali Yuga, whatever it is, it's all, got the color. And we do understand how things here in India get colored. But, how things are getting conditioned very quick. Just food rotten within 2 hours in the sun. So some places things, conceptions get rotten very quick. And that's the problem, when some of the Brahmins wants to cheat, they're thinking how to boil chicken in tulsi water, That's how the Vedic religion is being spoiled. And when Mahaprabhu came, they say some people here in Navadvip, which was the center of education, spent some of their money for the marriage ceremonies of cats and dogs. That's how bad it became. At the same time, there were some great, personalities and the Vaishnavas who kept the traditions like Advaita Acharya, Haridas Thakur, but they barely had an opportunity to share with public because public wasn't interested in this. They were interested in something else.
Also, if I recall right,
Yeah.
in the Prapana Jivanamrita, when Guru Maharaj speaks of the Ishtadevika, he refers to Gaura Saraswati, as the worshipable deity. And it's referring, of course, related with Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but it's also presented as the worshipable deity, the personification of Krishna's kirtan, from what I understand, from Mahaprabhu's kirtan, rather. And, I've actually read the verses. I see it as him defining the, worshiping the worshipable Lord. They are always saying in the presentations, who's the Ishtadevika? Who have you dedicated this work to? Well, in Prapana Jivanamrita, it talks about Gaura Saraswati. You read that? Anyway, that seems to me to be a divine divinity that he's relating with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So maybe that goes along with also what you said.
Well, that's what I've heard from tape of Sridhar Maharaj, and I don't have a fine brain like Goswami Maharaj or Kamal Krishna or Janardan Maharaj, but it sounds to me that, what I told you, that's what my inspiration. И возвращаясь к вопросу о идее Сарасвати, то Шрила Шридар Махарадж, что я буквально позавчера слушал его кассету, где в одной из своих лекций он объясняет, что имя Сарасвата браманов или Сарасвата цивилизации, это та цивилизация, которая возникла здесь в Индии, как некая ведическая цивилизация. Надо вспомнить о том, что человек не продукт обезьяны, он продукт как бы высших существ, которые заселяют планету Праджапати, которые приходят. И, естественно, первые личности, которыми заселяется планета, это богосознающие личности. Поэтому с определенной степени идея Сарасвати лежит не только в какой-то там сампрадай или школе духовной, а в идее как бы изначального человека самого по себе, да, то есть как бы первородного человека, духовного человека. Вот это вкратце. Anyway, it's an actual idea of that.
And I also say in this context, I know, that one of our essential literatures that all persons who are following in this line of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, that they should read and study, I believe is the Prapanajivanamrita. I believe that's very, very essential to what Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj are speaking and are giving. And we'll find much, much content there. After Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur left this world, Sripad Bhakti Hridoy Ban Maharaj, he commented, he is also a learned scholar, he commented that Srila Sridhar Maharaj has far surpassed all of us with his Prapana Jivanamrita, which is rendered in Sanskrit, not even in Bengali, but it's rendered in beautiful Sanskrit and has been presented for, in a very high place, very beautiful place among all Gaudiya Vaishnava literature.
И Шрипад Джанардан Махарадж говорит о том, что, возвращаясь к этим духовным идеям, Прапана Дживанамрита — это книга о преданности, о самопредании, составленная Шрилой Шридаром Махараджем. Она является очень важным произведением нашей миссии и потрясающим вкладом нашего духовного ачарьи Шрилы Шридара Махараджа в понимание духовной идеи. Там он описывает определенное, так сказать, умонастроение преданности, самопредания. И не зря кто-то из вайшнавов его поколения сказал, что если взять эту книгу и положить на весы, то она перевесит все остальные священные писания, потому что суть священных писаний — преданность Богу. И Шридар Махарадж экстрагировал это из нее.
That Prapana Jivanamrita's nice edition is available in Russian?
Of course.
All right. Y también estoy diciendo en español que casi terminé con Prapana Jivanamrita, terminé los 10 capítulos, pero falta la parte posterior, que son las pranam mantras y adoraciones que están incluidos en el Prapana Jivanamrita, pero el texto del libro entero terminé, pero ya tiene que estar redactado más y preparado, pero ojalá que podemos publicar ese Prapana Jivanamrita dentro de, no sé, pero dentro de pronto en español.
Sí, señor.
I just told them that I had finished the first 10 chapters, which is the book of Prapana Jivanamrita with the Bengali and all this Sanskrit and all that, and that I hadn't finished the last part of the book, which is pranam mantras and individual prayers, like the 10 prayers of Bhakti Vinod Dashakam, Viraha Dashakam, 5 prayers to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to Gaur Kishore, pranam mantras to Guru Maharaj. I mean, there's a number of prayers that, maybe are a little harder to translate in the book in some ways, but in any event, hope to be able to finish the book in Spanish so that it could be published.
You did finish?
What?
It's not available in Spanish yet?
No, it's not available in Spanish
okay.
as a finished book.
Okay. Эта книга, она на русском издана, но на испанском она еще, к сожалению, пока не переведена, хотя Джанардан Махарадж уже перевел ее фактически на испанский. Вот она, кроме последних молитв, она уже готова к изданию. One thing I want to refer, Maharaj, it's very important what you said.
Si todos quieren hacer un pedido de 100 libros cada uno, vamos a ir rápido.
But it's what my experience, because I've been translating this book into Russian, editing actually this book into Russian. You can only understand in scriptures what your heart ready to go for. So whatever's in your heart, that you can see and point. That therefore we constantly study the Vedas, study the scriptures, because as we're growing, they have more meaning to us. And so, this book is very talking to you at the specific moments of your spiritual life. Like, when I edited it, I was completely inspired by it, and then I put it aside and, read time to time from different parts, and, sometimes it didn't work for me. So it's all about also, that's why we say the Devotees Association is so important, because then it's some kind of a drawing circumstance, like Mahaprabhu telling to Ramana, right, because you're here, we can discuss all these things. If in the absence of devotee like you, these things would be irrelevant. So that's one of the things, we meeting here, and as previous days, like Goswami Maharaj had beautiful Harikatha, Gaurkatha, Kamal Krishna spoke. It was, and as of now, it's all comes as a flow of the heart, rather, you'll be doing something, reading something, or studying something, and that will get absolutely the same result. That's not what we believe. We believe in revelation.
The one thing I've seen with the Prabhupada Jivanamrita, it's got many, many fascinating conceptions in the Prabhupada Jivanamrita. It's very beautiful. And continually, I mean, I haven't thoroughly gone through it, but what I've read, reading the book and having read the book, there's so many things that stick in your mind, so many conceptions that are very particular to Srila Sridhar Maharaj that are given in that book. He's really given so much. But besides that, some of the devotees have worked on the Sharanagati, that's published in the Mat. And that Sharanagati has what they call I guess it's the Laghu Chandrika commentary of Srila Sridhar Maharaj of Sharanagati. Is that correct? And in that Laghu Chandrika, it's a commentary on Bhakti Vinod Thakur Sharanagati. The original verse of, describing surrender, it's presented by Srila Rupa Goswami. And, in that Laghu Chandrika, which I've seen, a rough translation of it, it remarks, as I have explained in the Prabhupada Jivanamrita, in such and such place, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he cites the Prabhupada Jivanamrita when he's giving his commentary on Sharanagati. So that means the Prabhupada Jivanamrita is really a finished work. I mean, it's a very polished work.
И возвращаясь к идее Прабхупады Дживанамрити, о которой мы говорим, что, с одной стороны, твои глаза увидят лишь только то, что готово твое сердце принять, но, с другой стороны, как говорит Шрипад Джанардан Махарадж, это настолько законченная духовная работа, что даже когда Шрила Шридар Махарадж комментирует Шаранагати Бхактивинода Thakura, объясняет внутренние принципы духовной жизни, предание себя Богу, это самая сокровенная, так сказать, встреча души и Господа. Он говорит о том, что то, что я сейчас объясняю вам из поэзии Шаранагати, вы поймете глубже, изучив Прапанна Дживанамриту. Понятно? То есть, поэтому Джанардан Махарадж говорит, что это в целом законченное вайшнавское теологическое произведение. And, with your respect, I would also like to add, this is like a Veda Shastra. It's a Bhakti Shastra. It's real Bhakti Shastra which descend through heart of Guru Maharaj out of necessity for shorter condensed form of devotional revelation. It's just like, some things in Chaitanya Charitamrita which is descend from Srimad Bhagavatam or other Shastras. this is also like unique, descent, revealed scripture.
I would say, who am I? I'm not, so academically qualified, but I would say for me, the two most important books for understanding Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Prapana Jivanamrita. I feel that those two books together give the most complete understanding or entrance into an understanding of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Reading Chaitanya Charitamrita and reading Prapana Jivanamrita, I feel that these are the two books that especially will, enable you to have some vision of what is not only Mahaprabhu as a person, his conceptions and everything. I mean, it's just a tremendous, Prapana Jivanamrita is just a singular book. It's very tremendous. It's incredible.
И если говорить уже вообще эзотерическом, трансцендентном понимании личности Махапрабху, то Джанардан Махарадж говорит, я считаю, что две книги, которые позволят искреннему ищущему открыть себе не только личность Махапрабху, но и его трансцендентное послание, его переживания, состояние, и приведут нас к какому-то пониманию этой идеи. Это Чайтанья Чаритамрита и Прапана Дживанамрита, потому что обе они построены на одном трансцендентном принципе.
And if you serve Srila Govinda Maharaj and pray to Srila Govinda Maharaj, then you can get some entrance into Prapana Jivanamrita.
И через служение гуру, через поклонение гуру мы постигаем внутренний смысл этого трансцендентного.
Well, for, ad infinitum, I've been talking about, how Mahaprabhu's, just in the Prapana Jivanamrita, his words are not included as those of the Supreme Lord, but expressing the heart of a devotee. For me, that's a very, very unique realization that somebody can say, well, that's apparent, we know that. But no, to actually read and hear how Mahaprabhu's every expression is the heart of a devotee. He's not expressing the heart of Krishna. Actually, what he's expressing is the heart of Srimati Radharani. But more, we can also say, he's expressing what is the role of the Acharya, what is the role of a devotee, a practicing devotee, on all different levels. I mean, everything is being presented through Mahaprabhu's words, but it's not like, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used the terms, the predominating moiety and the predominated moiety. Well, Mahaprabhu's words are not the words of the predominating moiety. They're the words of the predominated moiety. They're very unique, and they give us complete understanding of what is devotion and devotional practice. And this is something that's driven in very profoundly in the Prapana Jivanamrita by Srila Sridhar Maharaj.
Камал Кришна Прабху задал очень хороший вопрос. Он сказал, что не могли бы вы раскрыть, как с вашей точки зрения, каковы главные идеи этой книги, которые вас в какой-то степени, так сказать, теологически вдохновляют, или вы считаете их ценными, важными. И Джанардан Махарадж говорит, что помимо всей самой книги, которая, безусловно, компиляция всех священных писаний, очень важна ее антология, как она построена. Потому что там есть такая глава, как, например, сказано «слова предавшихся душ». Но в этой главе, в словах предавшихся душ, мы видим, что многие слова принадлежат не только великим святым, а самому Чайтанье Махапрабху, который играет роль преданного. То есть, иными словами, сам Господь объясняет тебе, насколько сознание Кришны это круто, и насколько круто предаться Господу. То есть кто лучше, чем сам Господь, может научить преданию самому себе. Да? И вот эта идея, то, что там собрана компиляция всех самых сокровенных высказываний о том, что такое подлинная преданность, и пропущенная через слова Господа. И Джанардан Махарадж говорит, predominating moiety. Это такой некий термин, который вводит Бхактисиддханта Сарасвати Тхакур в своем объяснении положения Кришны. Он говорит, есть принимающее начало, есть отдающее начало. Да? Мы понимаем, что Кришна принимающее начало, Радхарани отдающее начало. Когда Чайтанья Махапрабху, Кришна становится Чайтаньей Махапрабху, он в целом действует как отдающее начало или как совершенный преданный. И вот в этом очень важно, как бы наше положение конституционное, мы отдающее начало. I just want to say one short thing, Maharaj. But, you go ahead first, or let me. I just want to also say, what Maharaj said is extremely high, but the entrance, what Prapana Jivanamrita, the entrance, like before even like the chapters, Bhakta Vachanamritam, this, that, and so many beautiful things, Upakramamritam, it's like the article about free will of the soul. Free will of the soul. That's like a preface. Like preface take us on the highest religion conception beyond what we can expect. Like free will of the soul. The freedom of the soul. And he started talking about freedom. Why is that necessarily? Because the freedom is the next step to the love. And it's an amazing religious experience, which just in this preface, he's surpassing beyond general world religion. It's like, it starts from like, do you understand? It starts from like, blows your mind. So just read this one article about freedom of the soul, and you understand that no one can answer, no religion will answer this to you.
Yeah, I'll also say at the beginning, it just opens your mind, because also there he quotes, Srila Sridhar Maharaj. I mean, the way he presents is so incredible. He says, he quotes Rupa Goswami, will not the fire ignited by a barbarian also cleanse gold? You please excuse me, devotees, that this work has been besmudged by being touched by my hands. But because you're pure at heart, you can accept this and purify it. And then he says, in reference to Rupa Goswami's verse, he says, outwardly showing myself as a sadhu, but inwardly desiring the fame of a poet. I am soiled by the almost incurable disease of duplicity. I mean, it's just incredible the way Guru Maharaj expresses that. It's so beautiful, and it is pure poetry, the way he's, Guru Maharaj actually, Sridhar Maharaj, he's a poet. Everything he's writing and saying is poetry.
But actually poetry on the level of Mahaprabhu.
On the level of Rupa Goswami.
Well, I mean, sure.
So I want to just say one thing in Spanish. Porque...
Give a little money before that. Mm-hmm. Give me a chance to speak to Russians. I'll talk quick. A little something. Ну, просто поскольку Махарадж находится в трансцендентном потоке, я добавил то, что начало этой книги о свободе души вышибает полностью пробки, и как добавил Джанардан Махарадж, он раскрывает наше восприятие, потому что свобода — это шаг к любви. Но с другой стороны, то, что Джанардан Махарадж показывает, он говорит, что посмотрите, как после этого вступления Шридар Махарадж подходит поэтично. Он говорит, что даже если огонь разожжен дикарем, даже столь несовершенное существо, как я, если касается столь глубокой темы, то есть и он настолько поэтично, настолько смиренно подходит к пониманию вообще, что такое идея предания, что ты понимаешь, что туда вообще нет никакого варианта, не одев вот такие бахилы, да, туда просто так вот в грязных каких-то сапогах не пройдешь. Там надо быть настолько чистым и настолько смиренным, потому что тот план бытия, он по-другому вообще тебя не воспринимает.
And another thing you said, what are some of the points? That's one. Then there's also the way that each chapter develops from point of, profound understanding to the point of subliminal understanding. I mean, it goes from what is on the level of this earth all the way up into the high realizations of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and the high understandings that he's capable of giving of Mahaprabhu's, teachings. For instance, when you hear about you know, the way a chapter will start with, you know, nama means negation of, what is it? Namaha, you know, it means negation of self-asserting ego. Srila Sridhar Maharaj says the only thing that separates us from the Lord, and he quotes a verse in this respect, the only separation between us and the Lord is a mountain range of false ego. The only thing. Nothing else. Just a mountain range higher than the Himalayas of false ego. That's all that separates us from the Lord. You know, and he says, Nama means, when you say Namaha, I offer my obeisances, Namaha, that's the negation of ego. That means, Nama means the negation of ego. Just offering, starting, that's the starting point. And then each chapter develops, and you get, in some of the chapters, something that's not even in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. You get the poetry of Prabodhananda Saraswati, which Srila Govinda Maharaj has said is on an equal level with that of Rupa Goswami, and which is quoted and included in there, as well as other sublime, you know, references. I mean, it's just like, you know, where are you going to find that?
Very good. No, it's a serious statement, trying to digest this. Шрила Шридар Махарадж, он говорит о слове «намаха». Он объясняет, что между Господом и душой не существует никакой стены. Но с другой стороны, мы разделены с Господом только лишь горой своего эго, гордыни. И вот его как бы понимание того, что предлагая поклоны, это не какое-то формальное поклонение чему-то, там я кланяюсь, я вас уважаю. Он говорит о том, что в этом поклоне мы должны оставить все свое эго и гордыню, и тогда что-то трансцендентное произойдет. До тех пор, пока мы очарованы гордыней или своей самостью, никакого духовного прогресса не будет. И вот здесь он очень глубоко забирает, показывает природу, онтологию нашего пребывания в невежестве. Да? Он показывает о том, что собственно, душа, что в этом мире связывает душу гордыня, и показывает, насколько высоко можно подняться лишенному этой гордыни.
And for instance, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have the verse where Maharaj Pratraparudra, he says, has Mahaprabhu descended into this world to save all the jivas except one jiva named Maharaj Pratraparudra? Has he descended to deliver everyone, but he won't deliver this king? You know, he says like that. But in the Prapana Jivanamrita, we get the expression of Prabodhananda Saraswati that he says, Mahaprabhu is given a deluge, a flood everywhere of mercy, but my heart or my tongue, whatever, I forget the exact wording, is like a desert. It's like a desert. It's gone everywhere, you know. So you get this extreme sense of intense, what is the word? Necessity, need. You know, it's just giving you a sense of what it's, you know, what the real Vaishnavas, what they're, you know, here I am wasting time playing bingo or something. I don't know. I don't do that. But, you know, I'm wasting my time in this material world, certainly with various, you know, pursuits. But this is the thoughts of the pure souls, you know. It comes to illuminate a little bit.
И в определенном смысле речь идет о том, что он говорит о том, что он показывает ему настроение Прабодхананды Сарасвати, который в своей шлоке говорит, что Махапрабху пришел, затопил весь мир Кришна премой, но я единственный, кто из-за своей гордыни не могу получить этого. То есть весь мир может получать сознание Кришны, но я, величайший грешник, во мне нет ни капли любви к Богу. И это глубочайшее чувство подлинного вайшнава, который абсолютно противоположно этого не подпитывает свою гордыню, а наоборот чувствует себя столь разлученным с этим, из этого чувства рождается подлинный поиск. Из чувства отсутствия рождается чувство желания.
You know, I mean, the Prapada Jivanamrita is just, I feel that there are certain works that Srila Sridhar Maharaj has given that are extremely unique. Prapada Jivanamrita is a very, very, you know, a perfect book. Then we also we're blessed by the Premadama Deva Stotram. We're blessed by so many contributions of Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Sometimes it just, you know, is beyond my understanding how, you know, well, maybe I'm wrong because I'm a, you know, who am I to know? But it's beyond my understanding how so much of the Gaudiya Vaishnava world has not seen or has not come to understand the unique contribution of Srila Sridhar Maharaj in terms of literature, of Gaudiya Vaishnava literature. Of course, I get maybe it is happening because we have many people from all different kinds of mats that come to our bookstore and they're buying these books and they're taking these books home.
Yeah, actually, we overestimate, I think, a lot of people have read our books. But again, whatever's the heart, I mean, who you can see is impersonating these ideas, that is another thing. You may be acquainted with theory of surrender, but what if you surrender yourself? And what is the level of your surrender? And then in the Bhagavatam, we will find different levels of surrender. So, you know, what you said is exactly right. Not only world, I mean, we haven't, like, we ourselves in our mission, we haven't reached yet to like some of the things to understand. It takes us like lives to understand maybe these things. Because they're on the level of Prahlad and, you know, Narad and, you know,
Maybe way
beyond, you know, I mean, I'm saying about to start from, you know. И Джанардан Махарадж говорит, что речь идет о том, что когда мы говорим об этих глубочайших вещах, то мы понимаем, что это глубокие подвижнические идеи, то есть это не массовое религиозное сознание Кришны даже, то есть речь идет о том, что еще люди в вайшнавском мире, они для себя многие не открыли вообще глубины того онтологического вложения, которое придет Шрила Шридар Махарадж, потому что прийти к этому не так просто. It's just like, you know, Maharaj, when you would reach the teachings of Einstein and you are a general schoolboy, I mean, you can appreciate the guy look good, he look divine, but what is he really talking about? His relativity principles, other things, you know, it's like so high at some point.
That's interesting because I saw it in Srila Sridhar Maharaj's vocabulary, Einstein principle, when he says, Yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrishaitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahename, in the Sikshastic commentary of Srila Sridhar Maharaj on, you know, on that verse in the Golden Volcano of Divine Love. He says, normally this word, Yugayitam Nimesha, I'm considering one yuga as being 12 years or more. And then Guru Maharaj equates it almost like Einsteinian, you know, understanding of time when he says that the devotee is feeling that one moment or 1 second of, you know, of separation from the Lord is like an incomparable amount of time that cannot even be measured. We're using the word yuga not in the context of 12 years, but of an eternity. That 1 second of separation from the Lord is beyond an eternity for me. If you read that explanation by Srila Sridhar Maharaj in the Sikshastakam, it's just like Einsteinian physics. It is like that. It's a different way of telling time. And as a result, I heard Srila Govinda Maharaj said, if Goswami Maharaj, his Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj, had not given us anything else except Srila Sridhar Maharaj's commentary on Sikshastakam, it would be enough to take him back home to Godhead. You know, he said that's how important that work is. Srila Sridhar Maharaj's commentary on Sikshastakam. And that's in Golden Volcano, just in there too, you know.
И возвращаясь, как бы опять же к нашему духовному наследию, когда я сказал, что могут понять дети, когда они встретились с Эйнштейном, Шрипад Джанардан Махарадж говорит, действительно, принцип Эйнштейна проявлен, потому что они говорили об одних и тех же вещах, только Эйнштейн с материальной точки зрения, а Шрила Шридар Махарадж с безграничной точки зрения. Потому что Шридар Махарадж говорит о понимании времени, он говорит в Шикшаштаке, в молитвах, читании Махапрабху, когда Господь говорит, без тебя минута, секунда, мне кажется, вечностью. Секунда разлука с Господом больше, чем вечность. И в своем принципе относительности Эйнштейн говорит, а что это вообще такое время? И Махапрабху говорит, а что такое время? А время очень просто. Вот когда ты разлучен с Господом, секунда может быть вечностью. И в этом смысле оба, Эйнштейн и Шрила Шридар Махарадж, говорят о времени, но то, как это объясняет Шрила Шридар Махарадж, и то, как это чувство разлуки с Господом может моментально привести живое существо к связи с Господом, об этом никто в этом мире, никакие физики не могут рассказать. Yeah, that's very, it just, you know.
And all right, so Srila Govinda Maharaj, we'll start with this question. So we've talked about Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Who is Srila Govinda Maharaj? Who's he? You know, just like if we say, Srila Govinda Maharaj is saying that Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, he was like the guru for the entire Western world, including Russia. We know he went there and did so much. You know, if he's everybody's guru in the Western world because of him, Krishna consciousness came to the Western world. Now, who is Srila Govinda Maharaj? Without Srila Govinda Maharaj, you won't understand one word of Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Because of Srila Govinda Maharaj, you have everything from Srila Sridhar Maharaj. And without him, you have nothing. That is my consideration. Srila Govinda Maharaj brought Srila Sridhar Maharaj to the Western world. We can say through Goswami Maharaj, he was very, very hugely instrumental. But also Srila Govinda Maharaj opened the door for Goswami Maharaj to come in, for all of us to get something from this. And without Srila Govinda Maharaj and an understanding of Srila Sridhar Maharaj, I don't believe it's possible. You know, those who had something from Srila Sridhar Maharaj and then didn't take from Srila Govinda Maharaj, I think when they got home, they found that their pockets were kind of like empty, you know.
Like intellectual or...
You know, they got it on, maybe they got it on some level, but not on the real level.
И очевидно, что когда мы говорим об этих всех сокровенных вещах, которые в целом являются уделом очень высоких самореализованных душ, кто мы такие, чтобы соприкоснуться с этим и пережить это. Но очевидно то, что по милости Шрилы Говинды Махараджа, который не просто принес нам это как некую теорию, а он явил это своим примером, он показал вообще, что такое подлинный вайшнавизм, показал, что такое отношение преданных. И тут, конечно, нужно понять, что без личности Гурудева понимание Шридара Махараджа это не более чем теория. Но в глубоком понимании самого Гурудева мы можем найти это в практике, в реальности, что это существует.
In fact, I think they're kind of like one personality. Melded together, you know. I mean, I'm not saying that literally, but that's something of my feeling. That Srila Sridhar Maharaj, they're eternally related. That's what Prabhupada told me one time. Something in that effect. He said, nobody can understand. Srila Prabhupada told me, nobody can understand Srila Sridhar Maharaj's affection for Srila Govinda Maharaj. He told me that in like 1974 or something like that. Srila Prabhupada mentioned. Nobody can Srila Sridhar Maharaj's affection for Srila Govinda Maharaj is beyond, like what you can conceive, what anybody can conceive. He told me something. Not exactly those words, but he talks specifically, Govinda Maharaj and Srila Sridhar Maharaj's relationship being so unique.
И это не просто говорю я. Однажды, когда я был с Шрилой Прабхупадой, и Шрила Прабхупада говорил о Шридаре Махараджа и Говинде Махараджа, он сказал, ты никогда не сможешь понять, насколько близко эти два человека связаны друг с другом, поскольку они в какой-то степени родственные души, возможно, они спутники из жизни в жизни, поэтому их связь, она за пределами каких-то человеческих отношений, они являются носителем какой-то одной глубочайшей идеи, и в них это, в их понимании, в них раскрывается это понимание. За пределами их это понимание становится чем-то другим. Yeah, that's a very good statement.
So if Srila Govindamara said, love me, love my dog, then we should say, which ones? Which dogs? Point them out.
Когда Говинда Махарадж сказал, любите меня, люби моих собак, ну, можно задать вопрос, каких собак? Well, Siddhanta Maharaj knows about Gurudev.
Yeah, because we're all Govindamara. So many of us, we're Govindamara's dogs, you know.
И можно сказать, собаки, мы сами как собаки в этом мире.
That was something that came out in the conversation when we were glorifying Srila Bhakti Premik Siddhanti Maharaj in Sokel, and his brothers were there, his two brothers, one's Gary, one's Jim, and then their different relatives, and they were talking, and I remember to me it was very endearing, because sometimes, you know, Siddhanti Maharaj is almost enigmatic in his way of saying things. Like he'll say something, you know, very blunt or you know, but it's an enigma in some ways, you know, his way of talking. So there was a remark, you know, his father, I remarked that his father once received a letter from Sripad Siddhanti Maharaj, and it was from Dum Dum Park. And, you know, Dum Dum is actually famous because it was a famous munition manufacturer. They were the first, you know, they're on Jessore Road. They were first to manufacture the Dum Dum bullet, you know, the cross bullet, the Dum Dum. So, you know, but his father's a military man, and he said, you know, Dum Dum Park, he says, I guess that says it all. You know, it was a derogatory remark, like dum dum, very not smart, Dum Dum Park. He says, I guess that says it all.
No, what I heard, how I heard that story from Goswami Maharaj, that his father asked Siddhanta Maharaj after like long separation, so, you know, what are you doing in India?
To that part. That's
Oh,
the
okay.
second part. But first part I mentioned, his father said, you know, he got a letter from him and it was addressed Dum Dum Park, and his father said, well, I guess that says it all, you know, like dum dum, not. and then Jim, his other brother, said, he said, yes, you have to understand, my father, our father, you know, Siddhanti Maharaj's father, he says he was a career military man. And he one time asked Siddhanti Maharaj, so what do you do? What do you do there in India? You live in India, you're, you know, with the guru and everything. What do you do there? And he says, and Siddhanti Maharaj says, well, I take care of the head guy's dogs. That was his answer. I take care of the head guy's dogs, which, you know, goes along with love me, love my dog. I take care of the head guy's dogs. And then his brother said, my father's a career military man. He wasn't very satisfied with that answer.
He said, that tells all.
No,
Dum
that was
Dum
in
Park.
reference to the Dum Dum Park thing. That was a separate thing. That was the first story. And then the dogs was the second. But he
Okay,
said
all right.
his father didn't. But
But
I
anyway.
love the remark. You know, because you can just imagine Siddhanti Maharaj, he doesn't put on any pretensions. He doesn't try to be, you know, well, I take care of the guru, you know, I'm always his personal attendant. And he, you know, he doesn't try, oh, I take care of the head guy's dogs, you know, like that's Siddhanti Maharaj, you know, just very, you know, like it or leave it. That's the answer I'm giving you. You know, I'm not trying to impress you with that answer. But, you know, it's a good answer. It's the kind of answer that Govinda Maharaj would say, yes, that's very nice.
Well,
He's doing anything I asked him to do. If I asked him to do this, he'll do that. No pretensions. Simple-hearted, sweet Vaishnava. That's what it shows. But, you know, it doesn't sound so impressive. You say, you know, what do you do?
Well, I always see him as a Forrest Gump of Hare Krishna.
As the glorious what?
Forrest Gump. It's about, it's one of the best American movie about sincere